AT&T Stadium crowd is making a lot of noise.
I hope for the same thing.
It is a spectacle, this place.
Come on, take the ball away, dude. America's team! America's team! That's who we are!
The Cowboys get their 4th win of the season with a 30-7 victory over the Bengals, who will now likely have a top 3 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Dani Sureck. Sure, the Cowboys got a victory over a 2-win team, but a win's a win in the NFC East, especially for the 4-9 Cowboys, who are 2 games back from Washington in first with 3 games left to play. Against the Bengals, Dallas had a strong performance from all 3 phases of their team. Through the first 12 games, Dallas recorded 11 takeaways. Through the first 16 minutes against the Bengals, they had 3, all of which led to points on the board. In his return to Cincinnati, quarterback Andy Dalton got a win over his former team where he spent the last 9 seasons. Dalton said going into this game he had the same mindset he always does. However, he was definitely eager to get to play a game in Cincinnati again, even though he knew it would feel a little strange being on the other side of the field and in the opposite locker room.
This one was special. Obviously, a team I played for a long time. You want to do everything you can to win, and I thought our team played really well. So a lot of range of emotions from just being back in the city to being in the stadium, being on the other side of it, all that kind of stuff. Good to have the emotion at the end of being very happy that we got this win.
What did the guys do in the locker room when you came in? Someone was saying they had a big roar or something like that. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I got water thrown on me and everything. Everybody was excited. So, I think Mike and just a lot of the guys, it made it a big deal. And so it feels good to come back to a place that I was for a long time to win. And like I said, it just felt good.
Who threw the water on you? Do you know?
There's a lot of water being thrown, so I don't know who it was.
The television broadcast showed a couple different times after your touchdown pass to Tony Pollard, you looking and acknowledging your wife and then her acknowledging you on the field. Just how cool is it to be able to have that moment in that stadium that obviously you spent a lot of time playing in? Yeah, I've done that a lot in this stadium. After touchdowns, acknowledging her, giving her the I love you, and getting it back. So, it's special to be on the other side of it. I'm glad that she was here. Glad she got to see a lot of friends, and there's a lot of friendships that we'll have for the rest of our lives from being here in Cincinnati. So I'm glad that she was here, got to experience this whole thing, and and for us to get the win. Did you start thinking anything about what this means?
What was that? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you start thinking at all of what might happen here at the end of the day if Washington and Philly loses and the Giants have already lost, and what it all means?
Yeah, it's the thing with this year. It's been so crazy in our division. So, we did our part today, and we just got to keep focusing on us, keep finding ways to win, and we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. So, like I said, the division isn't over yet, and for us, we just got to handle our business.
Dalton's post-game presser is from the opposing team's locker room, where he says the last time he was in there was for a Christmas party he threw through his foundation when he was still a Bengal. Dalton says that's just one of the many memories that popped into his head this week ahead of playing his former team. In Sunday's victory, Dalton threw 2 touchdowns, one of which went to wide receiver Amari Cooper. Right after this, we hear from Coop about the importance of this win. Stay with us.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Rico's products make every game a home game with Rico's. And by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
Cowboys were coming off a short week, coming off a Tuesday night game against Baltimore, and then just 5 days later playing Cincinnati, both games on the road. Wide receiver Amari Cooper was the most targeted receiver in Sunday's victory. He got all but one of his targets and had one of the 2 offensive touchdowns. Cooper says it felt good to get back onto the field and play good, complementary football, which resulted in an important win.
It felt good. I mean, it always feels good to come out here and play football. We have fun playing the game, and obviously it feels a little bit better when you come out here and get the W.
What does this game mean to Andy Dalton returning to Cincinnati?
Yeah, it obviously meant a lot to him to come out here and be able to compete against the team he was at for a number of years and get the W. I want to say it was revenge for him, but I don't want to put words into his mouth. But I mean, it was a great feeling.
Hey, Amari, on the broadcast, they talked a lot about, it looked like Andy missed you pretty open on a sluggo there for a potential touchdown. What did y'all talk about on the sideline after that?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. But I don't blame Andy for that one. I was just talking to him in the locker room literally before I came out here and started doing his interview. I don't blame him for that one. I actually blame somebody else, but I'll leave that information disclosed.
Amari, how badly did you guys need a win like this, considering what's been happening over the last couple of weeks for the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. We're still in this thing. Obviously, we're in the last quarter of the season, so to get that W today meant a lot.
I mean, you had a short week. You had the passing coordinator, strength and conditioning coordinator. Just how emotionally just to get a win like this, just to get a sigh of relief and say, yeah, we won a football game. It's about football at this stage.
I mean, listen, it always feels great to get a W because, I've been in this league a number of years now, and, wins are not easy to come by in this league. Every game is tough. Every game is going to be a hard-fought game. And so anytime you can come out of the game with a win, I mean, it feels great. Guys are celebrating in the locker room and everything.
Hey, Amari, we've asked you a million questions over the years about, the road game versus home game splits, and I know you've never put a lot of stock into it, but, I mean, you've been pretty successful more often than not in road games this season. Can you pinpoint anything, or does it mean anything to you to kind of be able to show that you can do that?
It doesn't mean anything. I think it's one of those situations to where people make a mountain out of a molehill. It's just literally no difference to me whether I play home or away. It's playing with the same football and everything like that. It's just, I guess, I don't know. It seems like it's picking hairs. But, to give you guys some credit, I guess I can say it's something that was evident or that was out there and open to see, that just the splits were different, But I didn't think it was ever really a big deal.
The Cowboys offense got some help with field positioning this week from the defense, who kept forcing turnovers. They did more than just that, though. They also put points on the board. Defensive end Aldon Smith had his first career touchdown, and we hear from him right after this.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T.
Defensive end Aldon Smith had a 78-yard scoop and score in Sunday's victory off the Cowboys' second of 3 forced fumbles. Quite the turnaround for a team who entered Sunday's game with a -13 turnover ratio. Add this to the list of accomplishments for Smith, who's playing in the league for the first time in 5 years. After the game, Smith had some fun joking around with reporters when explaining the moment he knew no one was going to catch him on that touchdown run, his first since high school.
I know that I'm really fast, so as soon as I picked it up, I just knew that it was just going to be impossible for me to get caught. But no, seriously, as I was running, I was looking up at the screen, and I saw there was nobody really around me, so just was able to take it in for the touchdown.
Aldon, how can you describe that emotion for us, particularly when you think about where you were a year ago, 6 months ago, and now to not only be back in this league, but scoring a 78-yard touchdown?
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about, you know, where I was a year ago and then now scoring my, you know, first touchdown in the NFL. And so kind of at a loss for words. The guys are giving me a lot of stuff about how they say I looked like I was slow, but I thought I was pretty fast. But it's a good feeling.
After the defensive performance,
Get the three takeaways on the first three possessions. When takeaways have been such an issue for the defense, what does that do for the confidence, not only for the game today, but going forward?
You said the takeaways?
What do the three takeaways do for the defense and the confidence going forward?
Oh, obviously it just adds to it. It's important that we finish this season out strong, and guys play well, and so that's just something we can build off of and keep continuing it every week.
Alvin, how much was effort and finish a focus for this defense, maybe even more so than in usual weeks after the Baltimore game and some of Mike McCarthy's messages to y'all during the week?
It was just, you know, we wanted to put together four solid quarters of football, you know, and that's on both sides of the ball. And, you know, let's tackle, let's catch the ball, let's do everything that we need to do so that we can come out with the win.
What's the key to carrying the momentum from today's win to try and get consecutive wins for the first time this season?
What'd you say?
The key to getting consecutive wins.
Just keep, just you know, do what we did this game. You know, create turnovers, score touchdowns, and just keep up that same thing.
The Cowboys defense will look to carry over momentum into the final stretch of the season. Turnovers weren't the only area the defense improved on this week. And right after this, we talk about those other areas of improvement for the Cowboys defense. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence forced the first of 3 fumbles for the Cowboys in their victory over the Bengals. Not only did Dallas force turnovers, they also kept their opponent off the board, 2 areas that have troubled this Cowboys defense all season. Dallas held Cincinnati to just 7 points, which is their fewest points allowed since September of 2019 against Miami. Linebacker Jalen Smith says this dominating performance is reassurance that the Cowboys have the personnel they need to be successful on this team. It was also a good reminder that they can only focus on the parts they can control in a game.
Just understanding our strengths and doing what we do best. It's just a true testament to that. We've done it before. Really haven't showed it this season. You know, much putting together a full 60-minute game, but we was able to do that today. And, you know, for us, we can only control what we can control, and that's what we got to focus on. And this is a great start.
Considering what this team's been through the last 2 weeks, you lose your strength and conditioning coordinator, you had a short week, and those kinds of things. How good was it just to get a good win like this, regardless of whether it was at home or on the road?
Feels great. Feels great getting a win. This team, we've been through so much. You know, you name it. We've been through it, and regardless, we step out on that field. No excuses. It's about getting the job done, and just thankful and happy that we were able to get it done today.
Everyone was hugging on him. How happy were you guys to see Crawford making plays at the end of that ball game? It was a lot of love to him there.
Blessings, man. It's for us. It's coming together as a unit, getting a win. Especially wanting to get a win for Andy. You know, Sean Lee General was joking about how this is the house that Andy built, and just a blessing to get a win, especially for him.
What was it like when Andy walked into the locker room and it sounded like the guys were waiting for him with water or something? What was the scene there? It
was just full of joy. Andy being the guy he is and the teammate and leader he is, it's all about getting the job done at the end of the day. He had a great speech prior to the game, and like I said, we were able to get the job done. So it's a great team win.
What were you comfortable saying? What were some of the words that Andy had for you guys before you guys went onto the field?
He was just talking about how it was about us. It wasn't about his return. It was about us, the Dallas Cowboys, getting the job done at a 1 o'clock start, and we were able to do that. We were able to lean on each other. They're in the National Football League as well. They make plays. We make plays. It's ultimately about perseverance and finding a way to finish.
Jalen, who knows where this thing's going to end? Jalen, who knows where this thing's going to end this season? But how important is it to start this last quarter with a win to maybe build momentum, if not for 2020, for 2021?
We got to focus on one day at a time and controlling what we can control, and putting forth our best effort on and off the field. For us, we're a unit, we're a bond, and we got one game to play next week, so that's what we focused on.
Dallas sits 2 games back from Washington and first in the division with 3 games left to play, 2 of which are against divisional opponents. Still to come on Cowboys Flashback, we hear from the head coach after his team's 30-7 victory on the road. Mike McCarthy's on deck. Stay where you are.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T. Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Reliant, an NRG company. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Turnovers have been an area of concern for the Cowboys all season. However, on Sunday against Cincinnati, the tables were turned a bit. Dallas didn't force a single turnover, while Cincinnati turned the ball over 3 times. Head coach Mike McCarthy was unimpressed with the effort he saw from his team 5 days prior in their game against Baltimore. Against Cincinnati, he was much more pleased with what he saw from his team, and he says that success all comes from those early turnovers.
I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's number one priority. I mean, if it's the turnover differential, I mean, you look at the history of the National Football League, it equates to success. So +3 was probably clearly the most important, statistic, on the stat sheet. And you can see clearly, especially having 3 turnovers in the first half, because we haven't played with the lead, and it just gave our guys a chance to play a little differently. You get to play run and pass mix on offense, and playing catch up, and then you got to see our pass rush at the end of the game. So I mean, these are the kind of games you want to play in. And that's why we spend so much time in those team fundamentals on taking care of the football and taking away. And it was great to see our ROI come into play today.
You mentioned it's the first time you've had like a normal 7-day week. What kind of benefit will that be to kind of get into a routine that is customary?
Well, I think more years than ever, this is the abnormal challenge that we're in. So I mean, we'll be in a virtual format Monday and Tuesday for the first time. Under the new COVID protocol, so we'll adjust to that. But, I think like all of us, regularity, gives you continuity, which breeds consistency. That's something that I believe in, and it's something that we spend a significant amount of time on, and especially in this first year building the program.
Mike, after what you did offensively in that Baltimore game, and then how you followed it up today, and you had that 88-yard touchdown drive, do you feel this offense has kind of worked its way through all the injuries that's been thrown its way and starting to get its feet under it a little bit here?
We definitely improved the last 2 weeks, no doubt about it. I think anytime you're able to, number one, take care of the football. 0 gives is the most important statistic and accomplishment. But the ability to sustain long drives. I'm not sure how many plus 10 play drives we had, but we were able to move the ball. I know both teams both offenses in the first half were north of 80% in third down, and third down was the battleground that was going to be a key for the game, and and I think we clearly did a better job here in the second half.
McCarthy says this team understands where they are, where they've improved, and where they can still get better. The Cowboys will host the 49ers Sunday from AT&T Stadium in a game that's now been moved up to noon Central Time. It's a must-win game for Dallas. If they don't beat the 49ers, they are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. An important game for the Cowboys, and you can stay up to date on all team news leading up to it on DallasCowboys.com. That'll do it for Cowboys Flashback this week. I'm Dani Sureck, and I'll see you next time.